So when I did
to...
Boys Don't Cry, I was 24 years old.
Aha, so at this time you were a grown adult. Gotcha.
I made $3,000. You have to, in order to have health insurance, you have to make $5,000. So
Oh, well, that's just awful. I mean, this being your first film and everything, and being so relatively young, to be duped by the rules like that and find out that you don't have any insurance, that you needed to make at least $5,000 on a project to qualify for insurance as an actor. Man, I can't imagine how rough that must have been, not having any knowledge of that ahead of time. It wasn't like you had been doing movies for 5 years previous to this. It's not that you were co-billed with Pat Morita on The Next Karate Kid prior to this, a movie that had a budget of $12 million compared to Boys Don't Cry, which had $2 million. It's not as though you took this job because you were passionate about the subject matter at all. So, wow, $3,000. A job you chose to take, and you had no idea about the rules of health insurance. I'm sure you couldn't afford health insurance at that point, being married to Chad Lowe, brother of Rob Lowe, also an employed and working actor at the time. Yes, I am sure this story is absolutely accurate.
I had an Academy Award, no health insurance.
Principal photography on Boys Don't Cry wrapped on November 24th, 1998, whereas the Academy Awards took place on March 26th in the year 2000. Unless you waited for over a year after being paid for your work on the film to go to the pharmacy, you did not possess an Oscar at the time of this supposed event.
Then I win my second Academy Award, and the next, couple movies later, I get offered a movie, but the male hadn't had any kind of critical success, but had been in a movie where he was hot. And he got offered $10 million, and I got offered $500,000.
Convenient to leave out several details about this story, specifically what film, who the male actor was, and so on. But more importantly, what role were you offered? Was it a lead role or a supporting role? How many days of work would you have been scheduled to perform as compared to the male actor?
What?
Yeah.
This is after 2 Academy Awards.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
That's
I
the
believe
truth.
it. I believe
The
it.
truth.
Somehow, I doubt this is the whole truth.
So I said no.
So you turned down the job. What's the problem then?
And then they went and found a newcomer who did it for $50,000. And so they made a savings of $450 to put, probably to give the guy his bonuses.
So wait a second. They offered you $500,000 for a role in a film they ultimately ended up paying a newcomer presumably without your experience, a newcomer presumably without 2 Oscars under her belt, $50,000. It sounds as though they had a $50,000 role that they offered you a grand increase in price on in respect for your previous work. It doesn't sound like that this was a lead role that was worth millions of dollars. So again, what are you complaining about?
But is that not unfair though? Knowing that.
No, it's not. She was offered a job, she turned it down, and they found someone cheaper. That's called business. Because in Hollywood, it is a business.